is Movie Night with the Boys.
Hi, welcome to Movie Night with the Boys. I'm John.
And I'm Zack.
And we're a weekly podcast where we discuss movies. And this week, Zack's going to tell us what we're talking about.
Okay, so Game Over Man 2018. So this movie is starring Adam Devine as Alex with 3 X's. And he was in Pitch Perfect, Mike and Dave Needs a Wedding Date. Next up, we have Anders Home as Darren. And he basically just special he in one episode of a whole bunch of shows. And Blake Anderson as Joel, and he's basically the same as Anders. And all 3 of these guys are actually from Workaholics. And the movie was directed by Kyle Newacek, who is also the creator of Workaholics and a character on Workaholics as well. So, Game Over Man, an action comedy film about 3 underachieving friends who just about get the attention of a potential investor when the hotel they work for is taken over by terrorists. Okay, so tell us about it, John.
Sure. So, Game Over Man 2018. The movie opens to the boys cleaning a hotel room and talking about bigger and better and why they should have bigger and better. They've got condoms and all kinds of wine/champagne all over the place, and Darren decides to get high on salvia in the middle of the room for some crazy reason. Salvia's wild, so I don't know.
That was not salvia he was smoking. Like, never in my life. I've done salvia a few times, and that was the dumbest shit.
I have watched one human being that did salvia do exactly what he did. The salvia thing was wild. So they get caught by King Batch. Of all the people to walk in, King Batch is the person that comes across them. And kind of a surprise cameo. He kicks them out after them basically ransacking his condoms and taking pictures of it, which was nasty as fuck. And they get brought to the hotel manager, who's played by Daniel Stern, Home Alone. They get brought to the hotel manager, and he tells them it's a big night and that they're hosting the Bay of Tunisia. And they take their phones and they have to be on their best behavior or they're going to basically get canned. So next we get a scene with the security team showing up, and the old man guard that's watching the parking garage is a pervert and watching some porn shit. And out comes Neil McDonough. He is this like security beefy guy. And then behind him is this psycho assassin lady, and she just throws a knife into the old guy's face. And then they say they're going to take over the building, and they start. So we get a scene with Alex and the other two talking about, can't remember off the top of my head, but the one that was really big for them was the Skintendo Joy Suit, which, what a name. So Alex goes and gets the stuff to draw up the schematics and the plan, and while he's gone, Baby Dunk Joel and Darren talk about how they've actually gotten much further ahead than Alex knows, and they don't want to break his heart, so they don't really want to pitch the idea to the Bay.
The other idea was the medieval times BLT.
Oh yeah, that's why I didn't remember it, because it's so wild and unnecessary. So then we get a scene on the roof where we get a bunch of random celebrity cameos like Steve-O, Donald Faison, and Action Bronson. They try to give him an hors d'oeuvre of pulled pork chili or something, and he puts the whole thing in his mouth like mad aggressively, and then spits it out.
It was a quesadilla.
It pulled pork chili quesadilla, and he just stuffs it in his face and then spits it out and says it was fucking delicious. I mean, I think Action Bronson has a show like that, but I don't think he spits it out.
He's a weird guy.
Yeah, he is. So the boys manage to get to the Bay of Tunisia, and they pitch the idea of this Nintendo Joy suit. Baby Dunk ends up going further, even though Darren said not to, and tells him about friend mode and wireless connectivity and shit like that. And dude cuts him a $200,000 check. Like, here you go, just take the money. And as they're walking away, the hotel manager's like, absolutely fucking not, takes the check, gives it back to the dude's personal assistant, and takes them out. And he and his assistant Cassie are leading the boys out to this elevator. But before they walk away, Joel's like, no, we need that check. And psycho crazy lady fucking stiffs arm this, like, she just wrecks him with one fucking arm, drops him like a bitch.
She was hot.
And
She was hot.
yeah, there was something about her, man. There was something about her.
Even her terrible, like, what, Russian accent?
German, Russian, something,
Eastern
I don't know.
European.
She can kick my ass any day. So they're let out to the hotel elevators, and as they're about to go down, um, the psycho lady's in the background, and hotel manager dickhead is being an absolute piece of shit to the woman. He fires the dudes and tells her to go back to work, and she's like, the crazy lady's looking at him like, you a piece of shit. And she walks up to him, and he's talking about rubbing ice on her nipples, and she grabs his shit and cuts it right the fuck off. Lizzie Borden, not Lizzie Borden, Lorena Bobbitt style, fucking straight off, and you just see a dick drop to the ground. Ridiculous, no pun intended.
It was pretty. Yeah.
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 I mean, he was a piece of shit, so it kind of was warranted. But as Conrad walks in and is like, "You're such a sloppy bitch," the boys happen to be on the elevator, staring at the dick on the floor, staring at dude bleeding on the floor, and they're like, "Oh fuck, fuck, fuck!" And they hit the closed door button as quick as they can. Door shuts just in time, and this escalates it to, you know, shit's time to go down. After the boys escape in the elevator, Conrad's like, we've basically been exposed. It's time to take it over. We get a team of people going to the security room to basically set up shop and start being ready for taking over the security and getting ready for access to, I assume, whatever they're trying to break into. We find out later. So as that's happening, the boys are in the elevator panicking, trying to figure out how they're going to get out. So after that, the bad guys lock down the hotel. They plant explosives at all the entries and exits, as bad guys do. And then they infiltrate the security room and take it over. From there, they basically take over the cameras, the doors that might be on locks, and they lock themselves in and get it going.
Those bombs
After
are
that,
those bombs are pretty interesting. I don't think I've ever seen like that whole
I think they're like infrared or like laser.
magnetic.
Maybe, yeah. Oh, yeah, maybe magnetic. Because the moment they break apart is when they boom boom.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
they were pretty cool, let's
Some
say.
James Bond shit. So the boys are in the elevator panicking, and Alex says, "You know what? Fuck this!" And they boost him up, and they try to see if they can get into the elevator shaft because they don't want to get shot and killed. So they're trying, they're feeling around, and then we get the guard standing outside the door, ready to shoot them as the door opens up, and the door opens up, and they're not there. And the first thing he thinks of is, shit, they're in the elevator shaft, which for some reason he didn't look 2 inches to his left and see the other fucking door that was clearly coming down, because he runs away like an idiot, and there they are, still trying to get into the elevator shaft and the next elevator over.
These are honestly the dumbest people. I swear.
These guards are so stupid. It's like they're stormtroopers worse than stormtroopers or something. I can't even explain it. So they somehow manage to dumb luck their way out of the elevator and get to the stairwell. So we get back to the party, and hostages are being taken. People are being zip tied, and explosive collars are being put around their necks. And somehow Cassie, the assistant to the hotel manager, is ridiculous and still wants to just be a know-it-all about the hotel and not to be giving, or I don't know. She was fucking stupid. And a woman shit herself, which I I know her, I know that actress, but I don't know where she's from.
She's also from Workaholics. She was
And she-
she was the secretary, and she did like the same kind of stupidness. That's just her, yeah. But she's in a lot of
Well,
stuff too.
at least it's on brand then. So while that's happening on the roof, the boys are in a room trying to figure out what to do, and then they find that two guards are sweeping the level that they're on. Coincidentally, one of the dudes is Kevin from Shameless, and they come in, and Alex is like, "What the fuck?" And then he somehow manages to come up with this most ridiculous plan where he hides in the closet and pretends he's hanging from a belt, autoerotic asphyxiation style, with his dick in his hand, while the other two are just hiding behind the bed. And the first dude is like, "Hey, come look at this," and they're just staring at Alex's body hanging there dead with his dick in his hand, and somehow that gets them turned on. So, so they end up in bed fooling around, and Baby Dunk and Darren take the chance and cover them with a blanket.
I
And
mean,
fucking Alex,
it wasn't that they got turned on from that. It was the fact of he was dead, and it got them thinking, like, you know
well,
what
we
I
can't
mean?
wait for our better life.
I don't wanna, and then they started talking and saying they don't wanna see each other get hurt, and then that's what triggered it.
Yeah, I know, but just out of that moment of all places, like, there's a dead guy with a dick in his hand. I'm just
They
saying.
kill people for a living. What does that matter to them?
Yeah, I suppose. I suppose. As they're fooling around in the bed, Joel and Darren use the blankets to hold them down. Alex jumps out of the closet and starts kicking them both. Darren takes he takes the lamp and he smashes dude over the head 3 or 4 times until he's knocked out. This pisses off the other guy. So he basically Superman punches dude right off of his chest somehow. He like sent him through a room.
A
And
Superman punch is a diving
no,
punch.
I
He
know.
just
I
punched the
mean,
guy in the
more like
chest.
the strength of Superman because he fucking punched him so hard. So he punches Alex mad hard, and then he gets up and he runs at Darren. He super fucking just like Sparta kicks Darren into the wall, destroys the TV, and he's choking him against the wall. So Joel decides to grab the other lamp and comically is not able to pull it out of the wall. Rips it out of the wall, throws it at the dude, which just pisses him off some more. So he runs at Joel, and Joel panics, and the only thing he can think to do is drop to the floor, which somehow manages to kill the other dude by throwing him into the nightstand and hitting him right in the spot to break his neck. It's just a wild series of events.
It was quite ridiculous. Like, he punched a grown man across the fucking room. It was way too much of Adam Devine's dick for my liking.
Way too much. There was a lot of dicks in this movie, all things considered.
There was two. And I don't know if you caught it or not, but when the little bit of like talking that the two guys were doing, like fooling around in the bed, like it was pretty fucking hilarious. I don't know if
I
you caught
must
it or
not
not.
have caught it. I know that it was something, and I remember it the first time, but I've watched this movie several times, and the more times I've watched it, the
Well,
harder it was to make it through.
it was about fingers and buttholes, and
Ugh,
it was pretty funny. And
ugh,
and the
delicious.
and the way Blake is like trying super hard to
Oh, who's that? Is that Joel?
not be gay, yeah, it's pretty funny.
He's while they're talking about it after, Alex is getting dressed, and he tells them to formulate a plan. And Alex from the closet, speaking of not being gay, fucking Joel's like, or Alex is like, and if my dick looked really small, it's because the AC was blasting in here. And Joel was like, it's hot in here, right? And Darren's like, yeah. Then Joel's like, Alex, don't worry, you've got nothing to be ashamed of. So yeah, so they come up with a plan, or they're working on a plan. Homeboy Conrad's on the roof, and he's talking about wanting to get $500 million, and he shoots Steve-O in the head, which he was like, all right, come on out, Knoxville. Like it's a jackass stunt or something on the roof of a fucking hotel. Um, and then he goes to kill the Bay's dog, but a dude handed him the wrong set of explosives. So he handed him a 6 and a 9, and he blew up some random guy's head instead of a dog, which was less fucked up, but still pretty fucked up.
I'm pretty sure that guy is somebody famous.
The guy whose head got blown off?
Yeah. Flying Lotus.
Flying Lotus.
Yeah.
No idea.
DJ
Maybe he's actually a DJ. Oh yeah, so he is a DJ.
DJ Flying Lotus. That's his real name.
Interesting. So the boys use an ironing board and iron and a bunch of zip ties to make a zip line to try to escape. And it seems like it's going to work. And then dude wakes up and tries to come at them. So they all fly out together after having taken to, or try to decide who's going to go out. And they almost make it. But then the sprinkler that it was attached to breaks and catches the bed and yanks the bed, which knocks the bad guy Kevin out the window, and he's stuck hanging there. We get the cops showing up, and they look up and they see 3 dudes hanging off of an ironing board in the middle of 2 buildings. Alex and them are all yelling, "Oh, come on, help us, help us, help us." To which Alex says, "No, we don't want to look like pussies. Fuck the police."
Yeah, he's like, "Fuck you, pigs. Fuck you." And they're like, "Shut up, dude. We need their help."
We need to be helped. We can't do this. So then we go back to, so the cops roll up to the back door and say, you got someone hanging up there. We need to get access to the roof so we can help them. The guard walks away. Cop's like, "You should never walk away from a cop." Dude turns around and unloads a clip of his submachine gun straight at the cop, blows out the window, hits the cop a couple times, blows out the car behind him. Not blows that up, blows it out. And yeah, that was aggressively violent.
I have to say though, he blew out the window, right? Which now makes that trap null and void. Now you can just
Yep.
walk through the window, which none of the cops seem to take advantage of. But I also want to point out that I'm pretty sure that was the front of the building, like literally the front entrance.
It's an awfully small door for such a big building.
Yeah. No, but I think it's like, like at that time those buildings, I think like the big revolving door like closed down so that it is just a, you know what I mean? Like you have to
Yeah,
tap to get in or whatever, so it would be a single door.
security entrance kind of maybe.
No, not a security entrance, right? But they lock the big door so that random people can't come in off the streets and sleep in the
Um,
lobby and stuff. So you have to like tap your key card or whatever to get inside, or security lets you in.
yeah, it makes sense.
So maybe that's why. I don't know. This whole movie is stupid.
So after the cops get dispatched, no pun intended, because they get pretty fucked up, or that dude gets pretty fucked up, we get the revelation from Joel that they've been working on Skintendo behind Alex's back for years, and that gets him pissed off. Then we get a scene of, if it's from the roof, we get the access codes being fed to the dude in the security room, and as he's feeding them the numbers from the phone, from the walkie upstairs, the big fucking guard dude is being a dick, and he starts pouting out numbers 69, 420, fucking with the dude as he's trying to put in the access codes for a $500 million wire exchange. Brilliant security guard, brilliant hostage situation.
I mean, you should have gave him some of his sandwich.
If I wanted to give you half of a sandwich, I would have only brought myself half a sandwich.
You mean if I wanted to only eat half a sandwich, I would have brought only half a sandwich.
What you said. So Alex is pissed off and he's shaking them and wiggling them back and forth, and it causes everything to loosen up, and they fall. And as they're falling, they somehow line up perfectly with the window where the security room is, and they fucking launch the big dude straight into the computer setup, which straight through his fucking head. And
He goes flying.
yeah, he got launched. Like, it wasn't slow. He's a big dude too. Like, I think he was in John Wick. I think he was the one that dude killed with a book.
He plays the big guy in a lot of shit.
He looks like he should play the big guy in a lot of shit. So the boys stand up, and the dude that's trying to transfer the money aims a gun at them, and he's like, "I'll cap you, fuckers. I ain't playing." And he does a countdown and suddenly the fucking bed flies from the top and just straight down to the ground. It manages to catch dude and rip him out by his ankle. You hear splat, and you look out and he's fucking roadkill.
Well, what happened was the Kevin dude, he started to try and climb back in, and
Oh
as
yeah,
as he was climbing back in, it was like shifting the bed. So like that's what released the bed. And then
I thought
yeah.
for sure he was going.
Yeah, I was assuming that, but I was like, maybe not.
Yeah, he got his he got his moment. Um, so after that, the boys find a phone that somehow managed to not get launched away when Homeboy got launched through the desk. So the phone was lighting up in dude's pocket. Um, and Bay was like, "Wait, why the fuck aren't you taking his phone? What the fuck's going on here?" And he says, "Oh, the jig's up." Puts his arms up, cut me free. Um, Conrad blames the psycho lady for everything going awry because she cut off dude's dick, and he's like, "Well, what should have I had done?" And dude's like, "This." Takes a gun and shoots him in the face. So Conrad's dead.
Totally unexpected.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming at all. I mean, I knew that the dude was kind of a dick, but I didn't see him being the bad guy.
Well, I mean, his reasons, so
Yeah, no, he had reasons.
well, they
um,
weren't they weren't good reasons.
no, didn't say they were good, but they were reasons. Um, so after that, he sends a video to the news saying he's going to kill a hostage every 15 minutes if he doesn't get $500 million and a helicopter to which he's going to take out of the country. And then he says, starting now, and he pulls Donald Faison over, who's like, "Don't kill me. I can get you Stacey Dash's number," and kills him off screen. And he goes, "I've held up my end of the bargain. Now it's time for you to hold up at your end." And then he calls for Shaggy to do a fucking performance.
Do you see Shaggy in the movie? I
Yeah, he's
was
the one dancing. He's the one actually singing on the stage.
because I zoned out and I never really noticed him if he was there or not.
Yeah, he's like, "I'm gonna do a song for the relief in Haiti." He goes, "No, you're gonna do It Wasn't Me." So ridiculous. So the hostages are moved to the conference room, and the boys hatch a plan to use salvia to knock out the guards. So the Ahmad tries to humiliate the Bay by pulling a fat dude out of the crowd of hostages, making him drop his pants, and telling the Bay to toss his salad like he tossed the salad of the hooker that gave him crabs in the mouth for a week.
Which is the reason he's doing all of this,
Yeah,
essentially.
yeah, it's all revenge for that, which insane, insane. But Bay does it. He dives right in there like a fucking champ and goes nostrils deep in that dude's ass. He fucking
It it
into it.
was it pretty much backfired on Buddy. Like everybody
Yes, it
kind
did.
of got into it, you
Someone
know.
gram this. He was like, "Someone Instagram the Bay eating my ass." He pulls him out. He's like, "No, come on. I've fucked 10,000 women. You think I ain't eat a couple dudes' ass along the way?" That
Yes.
doesn't work, and that pisses off the assistant. So he grabs little Puma, the dog, and he puts him in this fish tank. And then he takes the Bay and takes one of those magnetic detonators, puts it between him and the fish tank, and says, "Now you got to wait and see. And you're basically the reason the dog dies now, etc." He doesn't say it like that, but it's pretty implied that if he falls, the dog's gonna blow up. So after that, the boys have got their salvia plan, but they told Alex that they don't really need his help, so he is a spiteful piece of shit. And when they asked him to bring the extension cord, he says, "Haha," and didn't because he's an asshole.
Oh, he's
Um,
such an idiot like that. Oh my god. So
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 he leaves the
stupid.
extension cord. They're on their way to do their thing. The PA knocks down the Bay, which blows the fucking dog up. I was absolutely shocked when they actually showed not the explosion of the dog, but the explosion implied of the dog. Because, damn, that was aggressive. Aggressive.
Yeah. Yeah,
Just
he
fucking.
just kicks out his feet. He falls, and everything blows up, and all the water pours into the room.
That's a
Jesus
lot of
Christ!
fucking blood. He could have been a bloodhound, huh?
No, it's just the water. Like, you know what I mean?
I know, no. He said he said he could have been a bloodhound as a joke because he thinks he's funny.
Oh, you're repeating what he said. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know. This movie sucked.
yeah. So after that, he makes two hostages fight to the death. One's the blonde chick that was in a bunch of stuff. I don't know her off the top of my head. The other one's Josh Duhamel. They go to fight, and he's on a video saying, "I'm not a murderer," and she goes, "No, you're
That's
not."
that's that's Sugar. The blonde chick is
Sugar. Oh,
Sugar.
that's Sugar. Oh, okay. I know her from like The Flash. She was Hazard in The Flash, and she was in
Yeah. So
Mike and Dave.
when I was growing up, she used to be on our like Canadian like it was called YTV, and it had like all the shows like Pokemon and shit, and it was hosted by a bunch of different people, and she was one of them.
Well, so she stabs dude in the head with a fucking high heel, and she lives, he dies. Um, the boys left a blueprint of their plan in the room, so the psycho lady finds them essentially because of that. Um, but as she approaches them, the boys were already fighting and over the extension cord. So they catch him, and they had lit the salvia on fire. So they're all walking through the room, her and the couple guards, and she gets all fucked up off the salvia. The other guard manages to not get at all touched by it, and he's like, "Ooh, I've been waiting for a long time for this," and you think he's gonna do some fucked up shit to her. So then it cuts to another scene where the boys are running away and they split up. Alex is followed by the other guy that was chasing them from the boiler room thing, and as he's about to get fucked up, he pushes this guy to a deli slicer and nasty scene. Fucking slices his ear off, the side of his face. It's so bloody. Just fucking.
It was
Oh,
it was it was pretty gross. Like, yeah, cut
that
his
was
face like
brutal.
down to the bone and shit.
Oh, meaty bits, man, meaty bits. Um, so dude lives and isn't in enough shock to not defend himself and runs after Alex, and out of nowhere Joel, baby Dunk, shoots dude and is like the most badass guy in the scene all of a sudden. So after they leave the kitchen, Joel, Darren, and Alex meet back up in the King Batch's room from earlier. Darren had just smoked some salvia for some stupid fucking reason. He didn't want to. He didn't. I know why, but it's the worst idea. Um, so they bickering and aiming guns at each other and shooting guns near each other. So they're shooting guns, and again, let's
He said,
repurpose this.
I didn't shoot at you. I shot near you."
Give a man who just smoked salvia a gun. He's killing somebody. Like I cannot understand. But as they're shooting it near each other, they run out of bullets, and they're like, "I wish I had this. I wish I would fucking. I wish there was still a bullet left. I'd fucking blow your head off, ka-chow, blah blah." And all of a sudden, Big Kev is like, "This gun still got bullets. Let's go. It's a spa day time." So they get led off to that, and then in between going to the spa, the lady wakes up from her salvia trip with dicks and shit all over her face.
They said poo
I
poo
thought
head.
f- I thought for sure there was something way darker that was going to happen there, and he's sitting there taking pictures, laughing like a fucking child,
I
and she
mean,
fucking kills him.
I know they're blowing up dogs, but blowing up dogs in this context is funny. So I don't think they would have went the dark route that you're saying. They would
Yeah.
do something stupid like she's passed out, so they draw literal shit on her face and a dick and writes poo poo head across her forehead.
So they're in the spa chairs, and homeboy's putting fucking electrolysis sticker pads on their necks, which is fucking uncomfortable. I have felt those things on my back, and those things make my body jump. I can't imagine what it feels like on the veins in your neck. So they're sitting there struggling. And he's basically torturing them. He grabs a stone, he throws it in a towel, he starts beating them and calling it a lava stone massage. He's fucking pissed. Um, After a couple minutes, Alex is like talking shit to him, calling him, saying he's basically a pussy or some shit like that. He was talking shit, riling him up, and he lunges at him while he's still strapped down to a chair. Dude's beating him in the back with a stone. Darren somehow manages to find like this lube oil that's like right next to him. He sprays it all over the floor. Alex breaks out of his chair. He got the thing loose to separate the top from the bottom. He gets out of his chair and he jumps over the oil, and fucking homeboy just slips and falls comically like a goddamn cartoon character.
Literally, I was just gonna say like straight up Looney Tunes fucking scene, like stupid.
It's so bad. And then the two guys, Darren and Dunk, they jump on top of him. And while he's still restrained, somehow Alex manages to grab the gun and straight up and down wildly until he's not shooting in the direction of Dunk and Joel, and I mean Dunk and Darren, and fucking just wild all over the place with that submachine gun, but manages to only hit dude on the ground in the middle.
Yeah, it was one of those fucking stupid scenes. Like he loses control of the gun and it shoots everywhere but his two friends. I thought at least one of them was gonna get like shot in the ass,
Or in the
like
leg or something.
yeah, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, something that you would expect to happen.
But no.
But no, they were fine. And they take this opportunity to get back in each other's good graces, and they decide to build the Skintendo suit and use dead Kevin as their body. Um,
I have to say, the scene of of him controlling the robot, he's like, "Give me the shimmy." That shit was fucking hilarious. I thought that was hilarious because that's all Kevin's acting, right? So
uh-huh,
like,
uh-huh.
and that guy, he's hilarious.
He is.
So
He's funny.
um,
He's been in a lot of
that
shit.
that scene was pretty fucking good.
Yeah. So they've got him set up, and as they're about to bust into the conference room, Joel's like, "Guys, I got to tell you something," and they're like, "Yeah, we know you're gay." Great. Like, just they don't even give a shit because it's not the time. But he's they tell him it's his drunk thing. He's come out like a bunch of times. It's not a big deal. Kevin's suit walks in, starts bashing dudes left and right, and then he's doing this spin move like a fucking like a Mortal Kombat character that's just being spammed. Basically, he's just spinning in circles, and then Joel's like, I'm kind of surprised those batteries aren't overheating. They're just from Dirt Devils. And as if by comedic timing couldn't be presented better enough, starts to go in flames. Let me jump back a moment. Those dudes were shooting the fuck out of that guy. And that suit
Mhm.
worked on. That suit kept going.
Well, it was because it was it was controlling his muscles, not like there was no like, you know what I mean? Like think about it.
The tech
It's
was
like
getting
it.
shot. I'm just kind of like,
I
what?
I guess, yeah. Yeah, yeah, from that sense, yeah.
Yeah.
But the general idea is they're, you know what I mean, they're controlling his muscles, so like it doesn't matter if he's dead or alive. And if you're shooting a it's like shooting a bag of meat. It's not gonna do much.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So then the suit and Kevin explode, and boom, in the middle of the floor. No one really dies from that explosion somehow, even though it's pretty big. Um, so after that, the boys got bust in, guns blazing, except for Joel, who doesn't need a gun because he's just the most dangerous thing in the world, a pissed off gay guy. And they managed to fuck a couple dudes up. They take them out, and then they're aiming at the guard who's got the bay, or something. Does he get the bay? He's got somebody. He's got
it's the
not the guard,
secretary.
the assistant. And he's got him, and he's got a gun to his head, and he says put the guns down, and then Psycho Lady comes in behind her or behind them with a gun and says, yes, drop your guns. And Joel turns around, excuse me, ma'am. He really he just fully embraced that whole gay thing that he just busted out with. um and so she steps up to him and she calls him the F word, and I was
After a hurricanrana.
yeah, she was straight up fucking him up. And as she's got him restrained, she calls him the F word, and he's like, "Oh hell no!" I just I don't know, man. That probably pissed off some people. She kicks his ass, and then out of nowhere, hotel manager dude with his dick throws the dick at this chick, and it just distracts her long enough for Joel to just sweep kick her down, have her land on an exposed, broken chair leg, and kills her. With the fucking dick, man. With a dick. Cassie, the assistant to the hotel manager, gets told what to do again, and she's like, know what? Fuck you. How about I report you? It's not
At,
about this.
she gets told what to do after he says, "Put my dick on ice," and tosses
Yeah,
her the dick. And so then she's like, "You know what? Fuck you." And she's holding the dick in her hand,
she drop kicks the dick.
waving it in his face, and then fucking kicks it across the room.
61 yards. State record, boy or girl. So,
Ridiculous.
yeah. So, after that, the boys bring a couple of bags of assumed money to the roof where the Ahmad, the assistant, and the Bay are being taken away on a helicopter together. And they propose the trade, the money for the Bay, and he doesn't want to get blown up, so he's like, I don't want to, what's to stop them from blowing me up if they know that I don't have the Bay? Here's an empty bag, you can throw them in here, no one will know the difference. Fine. He gets thrown off the helicopter, the money gets thrown onto the helicopter. He says insurance or some shit and shoots him. Again, don't understand why that needed to happen. Um, so as they're flying away, uh, Alex calls to Cassie and says, all right, release them. So everyone's flying out, and they're all flying through those doors that were all magnetized to explode if they got opened, and you find out that all the bombs are in the bags. So, boom goes the helicopter, and Ahmad is dead. So they bring the Bay down to the ground outside, and they go to help him, and they're talking about another check and how they need help still, and he basically tells them to go fuck themselves. He never really liked their idea. He was just trying to buy it to piss the guy off, and he's a dick. We should have all saw that coming from the get go. He's a dick,
And
and then
as they're wheeling him off, he goes, "Hey, and play with my balls so I know my dick still works."
yeah, he did. And then fucking Mark Cuban shows up out of nowhere, and they're like, "Oh, you want to buy our idea?" No, that was the stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life. But I want to turn the events of tonight into a video game, and we want to get actors and blah blah blah. And they're all like, Darren's like, I want to be played by Sean Astin, and Adam or Alex, I don't remember who he picked, but Joel was like, Cara
He picked
Delevingne, please.
Rudy. He picked the guy who's Rudy. You know the actor of Rudy?
I feel like I do, but I don't remember off the top of my head.
I cannot think of it.
It's okay. Cara Delevingne and Sean Astin are the two big ones. And then you get them partying on a yacht because they've gotten money because of the video game. And just as the movie's about to end, we get a little scene of a small boat heading towards their yacht, and the coming soon game overboard. And that's the end of
Oh,
that.
please don't make a sequel. Please don't, Netflix. I mean, Netflix, you're dying, so you're probably not gonna make a sequel to this garbage movie. So I think
Probably
we're
not.
okay there.
Yeah, probably not. So, Zach, the question is, did you agree with the critics who said 18 out of 100?
Yeah, I like rounder numbers, so I'll go 20.
Aiming a little high, I see.
There was a couple funny parts. I'll give it that.
Yeah, I'm having seen it at least 4 times now. I'm very much inclined to agree. It lost its luster after the first watch, and then it continuously got worse each subsequent time.
It's like with watch like Workaholics. Like I have not rewatched that, and I don't think it really has much rewatch value. It's a good show for one time.
That's fair. Doesn't have a rewatch value. I got you. I totally see that. So it sounds like we're in agreement on that. Junk. But so we still need to come up with a good, a bad,
And the meh.
which I think between the two of us, I'm sure we'll have no shortage of at least the latter of the two. I'll go
Yeah.
first since I'm sure I'm gonna have something good more than you will. And I'm gonna say the cast. I actually liked the cast. It's
I
not that
mean,
they were
yeah, I don't mind them. Like I said, I like Workaholics, so I mean, I like all the actors. Um, I, I they play idiots so well. Like I couldn't see them in like a serious role. So
professional idiots.
yeah, so yes, we'll see. But yeah, they weren't bad.
What about you?
My good.
I thought you were gonna say, "My goodness, where was there a good?"
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's kind of hard to pick something that was good out of this movie. Um, I would have to say probably the kills. The kills are probably the best part about the movie.
That's a fair point. There was a lot of good gruesomeness to those kills.
Yeah.
All right, all right. What about your man?
The whole movie.
That-
The whole movie was kind of meh.
oh man, if that's your meh, what's gonna be your bad? I can only imagine. We'll get there. Oh man. Anything else to say on it? Just the movie.
That's it.
All right. Well, my meh was the Ahmad twist. I meh. They could have kept with Neil McDonough and it would have been fine.
You just would have preferred it to be him.
Well, he was way better. He was way better.
Yeah. And what was wrong with that guy's teeth? Like, did you
Which
notice
one?
that? The secretary.
I never even paid attention to his teeth.
His teeth are all yellow and like black spotty or something. Like
Hmm.
they were pretty messed up.
Maybe the Bay makes him keep his teeth unkempt or something. Or maybe it was a callback to the crabs.
Maybe, but like, how do you get crabs in your teeth? That just makes no sense.
Munching
I mean,
on
like for
fruit
a
crabby
week.
bugs.
Like no, but I mean for like a week. Yeah, I get
Oh,
it in in the moment, but like
they
no.
were chittering around his beard.
Yeah, but that's it. That's not in his teeth. Like
I
it's
don't know.
just it
I don't
just
know.
doesn't make sense.
I don't know. You're fairly accurate on that. It doesn't make sense. Then again, how do people keep crabs in their junk for extended periods of time? I guess they just hang out.
I guess, but yeah. So what's your bad?
You're gonna hate me. Killing Neil McDonough.
Yeah, that's fine.
They should have never killed him. The movie he I love him as a bad guy because he's always happy about it. Like
He always plays the bad guy.
and
So
it's so good. He when he's a good guy, it's rough. Like in Captain America when he was one of the Howling Commandos.
yeah,
Meh.
I
Damien
guess
Dark and Legends of Tomorrow and the Flash. Much better.
he was first on the Arrow.
Oh, sorry, that's what I meant. Arrow.
He is on the Flash, but he was first on the Arrow.
What's your bad?
I don't know, man. Like the whole movie was pretty bad. I think they're like their stupidity is a little bit too much. Like so, if anything for me, it'd be like they're bad. Like they're acting like idiots.
Overacting.
It's yeah. Like Adam Devine is like I know he
He
plays
shouldn't be the
stupid
same
guys,
person.
but like he's way too stupid, right? I mean, they are somewhat playing their characters from Workaholics, but like Adam Devine is just
Seems like he's the same
overboard.
person
Like
in every movie.
it's too much, man.
Yeah.
It's too much. It's like Robert Downey Jr. said, "You don't go full. You don't go full."
Well, I should have expected something along those lines. It's it's a usual thing.
Yeah. So, that being said, what is John's highlight scene?
It is going to be a highlight because it is simply, I think, the best part of the movie, and that's when they actually got Shameless Kevin to become their Skintendo avatar. That whole scene from when they were making him do his titty shakes and dabs and all that shit to his rotating fists of doom and the final climactic kaboom. I find that one particular scene to be the most enjoyable.
Okay. Okay.
What about Zack's letdown? And please refrain from saying the whole movie.
No, I can't say the whole movie was let down because I didn't have high expectations going into it to begin with. So,
Touche.
but I would have to say my letdown scene would have to be where they killed the dog. It was so unnecessary.
That was rough.
It was so unnecessary.
It was
Um,
extra. Extra as
yeah,
fuck.
and there was just way too much blood. Uh, yeah, so,
The
yeah.
Bloodhound comment.
Yeah, it was so shit, I didn't even remember him making it, so, um, yeah, that's my letdown scene. Like,
Poor
I would have
puppy.
much rather them kill somebody else than,
Yeah.
yeah, little Puma.
Like sugar. Like sugar, not little Puma.
Yeah. Or the girl or the chick who shit her pants.
Yes. Oh, that would have been a great death. She would have shit her pants again.
Yeah. So
Already a better scene.
yeah, that's my letdown.
Alrighty. Well, with that out of the way, it's time to reveal what's coming next week. And it's your call.
Next week we are doing Always Be My Maybe. I believe it's a 2020 movie, but yeah, Always Be My Maybe. That's what we're doing.
All right. Well, so if you want to listen to us anywhere, you know where to find us on podcasts. Spotify, Apple, Amazon, etc. And you can find us on Instagram at MNWTB Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at MNWTBoys. You can find us on TikTok at MNWTB Pod. And you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/MNWTBoys Pod. Where else can we be found, Zach?
You can find us on YouTube, Movie Night with the Boys, ! We also are gaming channel, Gaming Night with the Boys. And we're going to be putting up reaction videos, gameplay videos, more game reviews, TV reviews. Yeah, everything is pretty much... Whatever we put out is most likely going to be on YouTube. So, yeah, check it out. Movie Night with the Boys, ! And I also have to give a shout out to the YouTuber SSJ9K for doing our new intro, as you probably heard. So go check out his page, SSJ9K. Yeah, he does anime parodies and like rap battles and stuff. They're hilarious. So yeah,
He's great.
Go check him out.
Absolutely. Well, Zach, it's been real.
It has, John. Deuces. It was way too much of Adam Devine's dick.
Thank you all so much for listening to Movie Night with the Boys.